This is the Slow Wardrobe. Come and have a look. Hello, welcome to episode 136 of the Slow Wardrobe. My name is Linda. In this episode, I'll give you an update on our French adventure, our intended move to France, hopefully this year, followed by my knitting update, and then we're into Layercake with the introduction of a new love dress pre-order. Right, so let me tell you about what's going on in terms of our French plans. You will have remembered from the last episode, if you've seen it, that we went to France earlier in the month of March, to narrow down our search area as to which part of France we wanted to live in. And in the middle of that exercise, we stumbled across a converted watermill that we fell in love with. Our own house here in the UK is not even on the market yet. We're working hard to get it listed as soon as possible. If all goes to plan, that by the end of next week it will be on the market. But with the real estate agent having received all the information about the house and having seen the house, all the people working there having seen the house, they actually had a couple in mind, or a family in mind, that might be interested. So there is a viewing going on, and that's before we've even finished all the bits of the house that we wanted to finish. So let's hope that things come together and that we will sell this house in a reasonable time frame, because of course we cannot expect the owners of the mill in France to wait forever for us to sell our house. They have taken a while to try and sell their mill, so they're not being impatient, but on the other hand, they can't take it off the market and then keep it off the market forever. So we'll see how we go. Of course, I will keep you posted in future episodes, and I'll probably shout about it in the newsletter as well if I've got something to tell you, because it's all very exciting and a little bit nerve-wracking as well. But that's all I can tell you so far this time. Let's move on into my knitting update, because this time there's no crochet. And as far as knitting is concerned, I only have two projects to show you. Firstly, a finished pair of socks that I knitted for my husband. Both socks completely done and nicely on the blocker. I am really happy with these socks. I love the stripes, and it is a yarn that I bought, I think about 1.5 years ago, in the autumn of 2023, when we were in the Scottish borders, and it was on a day where my husband was taking some lessons in casting for salmon fishing on the Tweed, and I drove to Berwick on Tweed to see if there were any interesting shops there, and just keeping myself amused for a couple of hours. And I found a knitting shop where I bought this yarn amongst others. Do you remember that I showed you the cotton dishcloths that I had crocheted? It was either in the previous episode or the one before, and that was I think that was a King Cole cotton yarn specifically for dishcloths. And I bought this yarn, which is also a King Cole yarn, at the same shop. This is called Zigzag Sock yarn. It is 420 meters per 100 grams. And I think it's 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon. It feels quite rugged for a superwash wool. It doesn't have that smoothness that a lot of superwashes have, which is quite nice. And the color combination is just glorious. The color name is Mayfly, and it is like a creamy, slightly darker than natural wool cream color, then a pale blue, and then indigo blue that goes to almost black in the middle of the dark stripes. And I think they're great. I love them. I have put in, I have partridge heels with a Dutch heel flap and turn, or heel turn and flap. I don't know how to say it properly. And I have worked it such in both the socks identical, worked it such that I started that heel flap in the middle of a light blue line on top of the foot. Yeah, here. And so then I stopped knitting and grabbed some of the darker yarn and made the heel flap. I was saying that last time as well, made the heel flap in the darker color. And then, because of course that gets a lot of friction from the back of your shoes, and then continued with the original yarn down the foot so that you have no break in the rhythm of the stripes on top of the foot, and then that dark bit at the heel, and then finished with a dark toe as well, which is just perfect in terms of length for the size of my husband's feet. That just the way it came out, so I'm really happy and lucky with that. And they are really, really symmetrical, which I love. So to go from the first sock to the second, I obviously wound some sock off the ball to arrive at that same point where I had started the first one for the second one as well, and that worked really well. I have some yarn left over, so despite the fact that these are quite tall socks and a big size, he's wearing size 11 shoes, so and this is, you know, the height of the leg is, you know, a good 9 inches, almost 10 inches. Despite that, there's still probably about 20 or so grams left, so plenty of yarn in this ball. And I knitted on 2¼ millimeter needle, which is my regular needle size. I also knitted them wider than I have done in the past. I ended up getting stuck on knitting all socks with 60 stitches in the round, which turned out to be not enough for my husband. His instep, the space between the top of his foot and his heel specifically is too big to accommodate a 60 stitch circumference on the leg. So the leg circumference on these socks is 68 stitches, and then with the decreases on the foot I've gone down to 64 stitches for the foot, and that's a great fit for him. It means that they're slightly loose on the legs, not floppy, but just slightly looser. He loves that, so he loves the feel of these, and he'll be glad to be receiving them later on today, because I finished them a couple of days ago and he hasn't seen them yet. Well, he's seen them, but he hasn't had them on yet, because I said, no, you have to wait, I have to show them on the podcast first, and then you can wear them. So, pair of socks, highly recommend this yarn. Mind you, I need to see how it wears and washes, but I have high expectations, and it is very affordable. I think I paid about £6 per 100 grams, £6 for a ball of yarn. So very, very cheap in terms of what I'm used to for yarn prices. I know, of course, that it is machine dyed, it's not, or factory dyed, it's not hand dyed, which I use a lot more often, but every now and then I just wanted to give this little yarn shop some business, and I really like this colorway. So we'll see how we go with them. I will report back if I've got something to report back. So that's my finished object. Then my work in progress is, I've put it back, it's on my left. I've put it back on the original cardigan that I'm copying, a little cardigan in linen that I'm copying with a double yarn held double, I should say, of 2 different colors of cashmere. This is a cone of cashmere that is specifically for machine knitting. That's why it comes on a cone. I'm seeing if, yes, 1500 meters per 100 grams on this yarn. So it's a very fine lace weight yarn. And then I have a single ply cashmere from Art Yarns that is, I don't think it is being sold in the UK. I bought some hanks of it. Anything I can find of it, I buy on eBay, and it's very similar to the strands that make up the 2-ply cashmere art yarn, the ombre cashmere, the 2-ply cashmere ombre yarn that Millie at Tribe Yarns holds stock of. But they obviously do a single ply as well, and this is a beautiful, very, very dark chocolate brown color. And even just from handling the yarn and from hand winding into a ball, it's starting to develop this gorgeous soft halo. I'm very impressed with how this yarn behaves, considering that it looks like a single ply, and with cashmere that tends to be a problem because the fibers are not that long. But if cashmere is of very high quality, then you get longer fibers and then it is stronger, and this definitely looks to be the case. So I'm holding that together with this strand of purplish machine knitting cashmere, and the resulting fabric I absolutely love. I'm working on 3mm needles, and I've said it before in previous episodes, I've put little pockets in where the original cardigan has little pockets as well, and I've put an I-cord along the top of the pocket, so that kind of slightly rolling effect that the original has, this one has as well. It's holding its shape slightly better than the linen, which I think is great. And just like the original, the inside of the pocket is in reverse stockinette. I've done that as well, so you can see pearl stitches here, and I've done that just in 2 strands of the purple yarn. So even though this is this mixture of brown and purple, I've got an inside of the pocket peeping out that is just in the purple. I love that. I love the effect. Here is the left panel. This panel is completely finished. I'm now copying that panel in a mirror image, of course, on the left. This is not blocked at all. I've steam blocked this to show you before. This hasn't been blocked yet, so I'm just halfway up, and I'm about to start the decreases for the V neckline, and then a little bit higher up do I put decreases in for the sleeve? No, I don't. It's a little bit higher up. I don't decrease for the sleeve, but I start decreasing for the shoulder. So I've got a decrease going on this side, and then eventually the other side joins with a much faster decrease to create a sloped shoulder, which is what the original has as well. I haven't stuck the back panel on the original, but I do have it with me here. That is finished as well. So, I've taken it out already. Here is the back panel. That's finished, and I just have the stitches that are the back neck on a little spare piece of yarn. And then once the whole thing is done, I will, of course, attach a button band along the edges. I've talked about that before as well. I haven't quite decided how I'm going to do that yet, but I will tell you when I get to it. So I'm really enjoying working on this again. I had a bit of a gap. I'm working on this cardigan because the gap was really caused by traveling to France and thinking I would be doing lots of knitting in the car, and I didn't. I did mostly navigating, as I told you last time. So the knitting that I did do was just to get these socks started. Very, very mindless, didn't have to look at it at all, whereas this is a bit more mindful because it's quite easy to drop one of the very thin strands while I'm knitting. So as I said before, I have to double check every couple of rows whether I've missed any strands, and then I need to tink back that particular stitch to just pick up that strand so I don't have any loose strands at the end in the back or half stitches in the front. So I'm knitting on this again in the evenings and really enjoying it, and very, very motivated to finish it, to the point that I'm already starting to dream about future projects, and I have the feeling that there's going to be more yellow in my future. I don't know yet how it's going to manifest, but I'm still on a bit of a yellow kick, it turns out. I'll keep you posted about that. I'll keep you posted about France, like I said. But that's it for the knitting this time. Let's dive in and have a look at these glorious love dresses that are on pre-order. Enjoy. You've been asking for it, so here it is, another pre-order for the love dress. Lovely timing coming up to spring, of course, or it's just spring here, and the weather's starting to change, so I don't have to completely cover up anymore in terms of footwear. So I'm back in my trusted little ballerinas. Boy, do I love these shoes. I have them in lots of different colors, but I digress already. I've started with a firm favorite in the love dress in magenta, worn with my own magenta baggies. And you can see in the size 1, even though with some of the layer cakes I'm on a verge of size 2, with the love dress I can still fit into that size 1, and it just ends up being more of a fitted shape without catching anywhere. And because of the way we cut the sleeves, I still have lots of space for my bingo wings, keeping them safely hidden, and there is no restriction in my movement anywhere in the size 1. This is the regular length, which is just below the knee for me, just above the mid-calf point. The long one is like a low calf on me. I don't have a long one to show you. All the dresses that I'm wearing today are the medium length, the regular length, and I'm showing them with a selection of different trousers and other layer cakes as well, of course. But this is the start, just an outfit all in one color. And if that's a little bit too much, then of course we can add something like a smock over the top to take the glare of the bright magenta color away a little bit. I'll show you. This is a size 2 smock in Royalty. Royalty, of course, being a cross weave of teal and the red purple that is in black currant. So there is a pinkish reddish hue in the Royalty, which is one of the reasons that it goes beautifully with a color like magenta. And lovely contrast, of course, between these two colors, and it's not all pink anymore. I must admit, though, I absolutely love how so many of you are gradually, as you get more into layer cake and as you wear more combinations of different layer cake colors, really develop your confidence in wearing bright colors and wearing different color combinations as your collection grows. And as well as combining it, of course, with your existing wardrobe. So it is just glorious, I think, especially if you over the years have lost confidence about wearing color, to rediscover that and start playing with that wardrobe again and enjoy what you're wearing. So I'm going to add a third color by changing the color of my trousers. This is a pair of breeches in Looking for Lilac. Third color added to the lovely bright spectrum here. And this is a size large in the regular length, so they are cropped on me. If you normally wear regular length breeches and they're full length on you and you think, oh, I quite like that idea of having them cropped, all you have to do is fold over the elastic at the waist twice, and that will shorten the trousers. And because of the width of the elastic, because it's an inch wide, it'll stay in place, it'll stay rolled up, and you can create that cropped look, which especially in the summer looks great. Or if it's colder as well, but you want to show off a pair of little boots, for example, then wearing your trousers cropped is a great option. Of course, with the high-lows, you can fold them up to crop them, so that's something to keep in mind. If you don't like the idea of fiddling with a waistband and you just want the trousers to hang on you and be cropped, then the high-lows in the regular length can of course be folded up with the ties on the inside of the legs so that they turn into cropped trousers, even if you are of shorter stature and the regular length is normally full length on you. So let me change to the second color of the lineup of love dresses that I've got for you today. This is Deep Sea in the size 2. So whereas I was wearing a size 1 regular just before, this is a size 2 regular. So if I actually pull out these little wings here, then you can see that it properly fills the size 2 smock that I've got on. Whereas with the size 1, I could pull out the smock wider, of course, than the dress is. So these are a perfect fit on top of each other. Although you could see that wearing the size 2 smock over the size 1 dress worked really well too. The other reason that I'm combining these now is to show you the difference between Royalty and Deep Sea, because of course they've got the teal color in common, but with the purple of the blackcurrant in the Royalty, it pulls the color of course into the reddish spectrum. So hence you see a slight darkening of Royalty compared to Deep Sea. Now of course we then bring that purple back with the trousers that I'm wearing. So in the next outfit I'm going to change those Looking for Lilac trousers and wear a pair of Royalty trousers as well. So then we've got Royalty on top, Deep Sea in between, and Royalty below, to create a color coordinated outfit that's not completely solid like I started with the magenta, but that comes very close in the colors worn together. Let me know what you think. Deep Sea, I forgot to say with the previous outfit, whereas Royalty is teal with blackcurrant, Deep Sea is teal with magpie. So it's dark teal, a dark teal effect, but not quite as dark as the dark teal color, which is teal and black. This is teal with the blue that's in magpie, and the blue in magpie has a slight petrol-y greeny hue to it, which is why the effect on the teal and the darkening of the teal that you get with the magpie crossweave is slightly less pronounced. It's softer. So I think these colors go beautifully together. And this is an example of the breeches in the long length. So this is the large long on me, and as you can see, full length. And as I was saying, if you then pull that up by folding, so this is me folding the waistband twice, then I'm pretty close to where the regular length was on me. So if you, like I said, if you normally wear the regular length full length, then by folding over that waistband twice, you can create that cropped effect. I must say though that with this dress length, I really do like the effect of the lantern shape of the trouser leg of the breeches being a bit more pronounced when I wear the full length trousers in combination with the dress. So part of that lantern shape, that kind of lozenge shape, disappears a little bit under the dress when I wear them cropped. So it's just a different silhouette. These are very Aladdin-like, of course, very lantern shape when I wear them full length like this with a dress. I love this outfit, and I'm now going to change into the third color, because this pre-order features the magpie color, which is always very popular in the love dresses, which is why of course I've added it again this time as well. And I also have to point out that all the love dresses in this pre-order are all in the medium weight linen, not the heavyweight, the medium weight. We're coming into better weather And of course, if you need to, you can layer them, but all the colors shown today are the medium weight linen. So I'll keep the rest of the outfit together, or the same, and I'll put on Magpie as the love dress in between. And here it is. Same breeches and smock, both in the gorgeous royalty color, and then in between the love dress in Magpie. Again, this is a love dress in size 2. I will take this smock off so that you can see what the love dress looks like, size 2, on me without anything else. So you can see that it drapes more generously now. Hold this out of the way. And it is just on the verge, this dress, of cantilevering on me because of that big extra, that lot of extra room. If I would now start walking around with a heavy phone in one pocket, then this dress would slowly start traveling to the left because it's got all that movement. So that is something to keep in mind when you wear your layer cakes oversized, to make sure that they don't get too roomy. And if you worry that they are, then we can always do something about it. It's very often a case of nipping a little bit of width out of the back to create a fit that doesn't travel around on your body. But I love the oversized effect, of course, as you know. So a size 2 dress, I love that on me. Again, the regular length, and even in that bigger size, I still really like the proportions on this dress. Although I must say that the longer lengths always look good on me as well. I've got the space to go for the longer length. But with the love dress, to be honest, even though I like the longer length on me, I don't think I've got any. I think I only have the medium length, because of course I love wearing them in combination with trousers, and then I like to see a little bit of the trouser, so I wear them almost tunic-like. I do that with most of my dresses, to be honest. But anyway, let me introduce a new color that goes into the other direction, because we've seen lots of blues and greens now. Same dress, size 2 in Magpie, but this time combined with a pair of slackers in Lava. Lava, a good color, a good example of a color that not everybody is confident to wear. But of course, if you wear it on the bottom half of your body, then you don't have to worry that it washes you out. And if you then want to bring back a bit of that color family at the top of your outfit, then here's one of the many kind of, what do we call it, crescent shaped shawlettes that I knitted, I think it was last year when I was on a crescent shawl shape kick before I got into the little crochet scarves. Anyway, there's a pattern here, isn't there? But you know, adding something like this at the top like really pulls the outfit together. Of course, it could also be a brooch, a bit of jewelry, or just the color of your lipstick matching with the trousers. There's a lot of possibilities there. Let me bring in way more color just before I change to the next color of the love dresses. Still one of my absolute favorite layer cakes ever. The Synergy Duster Long in the large bright check, because it goes with everything. And as you can see here, it just transforms an outfit. It adds lots of swish and drama, and of course you can then vary the outfits underneath and then throw this over the top for an extra bit of whoa, as well as temperature, because this is the heavier linen. And the reason that we don't make the long duster with sleeves in the heavy linen is that the whole thing just becomes very coat-like. But by leaving the sleeves off, making it sleeveless, even though part of my arms, as you can see, are clearly covered, this becomes just a lovely extra layer. Like I said, lots of drama and swish without making it too heavy. Okay, let's move on to the next color of the love dresses in the pre-order. Here's Loganberry, Back in a size 1, still with my favorite Synergy duster over the top, and of course still with the lava slackers. Now, the lava slackers and the loganberry go beautifully together, and that is because they have a color in common. The magenta that is in loganberry is also in lava. In loganberry it is cross-woven with black. In lava it's cross-woven with a tobacco-y fawn brown color that is in some of our other popular colors as well. For example, in bitter lime. So bitter lime and lava, match made in heaven as well. But I digress. We're sticking with the lighter weaves for the love dresses this time. Of course, lava is one of the heavier sturdy linens. But, you know, for this combination, it's fantastic. Trousers in the heavier linen, dress in the lighter linen. And then for warmth and swish and flare, the heavier linen in the Synergy duster. I'm going to take off the Synergy duster so that you can see just the dress in combination with the lava. So here's just the dress with the trousers. Size 1 in loganberry on me in the regular length. Loganberry is just, oh my gosh, I'm so happy with that color. It just shimmers so beautifully. Some colors do and some colors don't. They all generate a lot more depth in them because of the cross weaves, but some of them just kind of sparkle. And both lava and loganberry are examples. Lava is just one of those colors because of that juxtaposition of the brown and the pink, that when you see it up close, it really does shimmer. It really does look like it's on fire, and it really does remind you of lava when you see it up close, hence the name, of course. Okay, so there is actually a third color that you may not think of in combination with these two, that fits in the spectrum beautifully and that calms everything down a little bit. Let me not hold you in suspense. Here it comes. Here it is, and it's cinnamon. It looks a little bit like it's been squished on the rails, which I didn't realize, otherwise I would have pressed it before showing it to you. But hey ho, if I would start wearing that within an hour, these creases would start disappearing. It's literally just been squished in between other garments on the rail. That's very clear. But look at what it does to the outfit. It lightens everything. And because of the orangey tinge of the cinnamon, and then of course the orange in the red of lava, it ends up going beautifully together. This is a size 2 tabard in cinnamon. Of course, cinnamon is the heavier linen, I must say that. But in terms of color combination, gorgeous, and it really forms a beautiful backdrop, the cinnamon and the lava together, to emphasize the shimmer that is in loganberry. All right, I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to go for another color that you might not necessarily think of. Again, let me know what you think. A size 2 smock in Nightshade. Nightshade is a fabric that we've completely sold out of. This may be the last garment around in Nightshade. I don't know, there might be 1 or 2 trousers. Maybe, I'm thinking probably breeches, if there are any. You'll be able to find them on the website, but if you want Nightshade, you've got to be quick, because those are the last garments that we will have in that fabric, and this size 2 smock is one of them. But look at what Nightshade does to this color combination. Again, glorious with loganberry, but it really calms the loganberry down. It turns it down because, of course, Nightshade is quite bright. It is a cross weave of the purple that is in a black currant, which I'll show you in a minute, with cross woven with a bright purple. So then you get another very shimmery cross weave. And in combination with these other two, we're still in the red spectrum, but of course we're traveling a little bit towards blue with this purple. And I think another example of such a rich color combination without it being too loud. They're all just lush rather than garish. At least that's what I think. So I'm going to change the lava trousers into a darker pair as well and keep the Loganberry dress on for one more round still. A pair of lantern breeches in the large long in the blackcurrant stripe. So it's not the solid blackcurrant, but the blackcurrant stripe. So if you are of the persuasion of liking the garments that you wear closer to the ground in darker colors than the garments that you wear further up, then the move that I've just made by swapping the lava for the blackcurrant stripe is a move that you will enjoy and appreciate, because we're going darker as we're going further down. We're still in that red spectrum. It's still a beautiful combination of different colors, and the blackcurrant stripe is kind of winking a little bit towards the magenta. Of course the magenta is lighter, but since the magenta is being pulled into a darker direction by the black, there is definitely a connection, visual connection in terms of color family between the blackcurrant stripe and the Loganberry cross weave. So I was already referring to blackcurrant as the next color in the love dresses, so here it is. Kept the rest of the outfit the same, just swapped the Loganberry dress for the blackcurrant. And here it is, of course, blackcurrant in the trousers in a stripe with black, then blackcurrant in the cross weave up here, and then blackcurrant with the purple in the smock. This is another size 1 dress and a size 2 smock, so you can see that difference that I was referring to in terms of width. I'll take the smock off so you can just see the dress with the trousers. Here it is. Dress in size 1, regular length, of the blackcurrant cross weave, and then the blackcurrant stripe in the lantern breeches worn underneath. You can see that they look a little bit lighter. That's of course because the dark purple red of the blackcurrant is not cross woven with the black, but it's rather the blackcurrant and the black are vertical stripes, and then the weft is that blackcurrant color. So what you in effect have is that the dark stripes are the blackcurrant cross weave, and the lighter stripes are just that red purple that makes up the blackcurrant together with black, if you know what I mean. Right, I'm going to add more garments to this to show you how to change the look and feel of this outfit. Here is a popover shirt in size 1 white that I've popped under my size 1 love dress, and look how well they go together. Of course the popover shirt has got longer sleeves, so that nice wide closed cuff of the sleeve is just about the difference in length between the sleeves of the dress and the shirt. And then you can see that they're about bracelet length on me because of my height. With most people they will come slightly lower. And then of course you can fold them up, fold them over the bottom of the sleeves of your dress and wear them like that if you prefer that look in terms of cuff over the look of them just sticking out. And of course you can see the white collar at the top. Lovely extra layer for when it's still chillier, and it just creates a pop of contrast, in this case white, but of course you can play with different colors with the shirt in combination with your love dress and really turn it into a different dress by adding these different lengths for the sleeve or the cuff, and the collar that all of a sudden it has, rather than that open round neck. Let me change the trousers so I keep pulling it in a different direction. Bringing back some of the lighter colors, the lightness that I bring in with my white shirt, bringing some of that back with the trousers that I'm wearing. These are slackers in the large nude check, which of course has got panels in colors like deep sea and blackcurrant and magpie in it. So, as well as undyed linen. So another combination would be to add an undyed linen shirt to this rather than the lighter white. But the idea was to bring back light color at the bottom of the outfit as well. And like I said, pull things in a different direction. I'll keep going with that by bringing a completely different color in contrast with the blackcurrant on the opposite side of the spectrum. Bringing in a yellow color, like I said, opposite side of the spectrum to blackcurrant. This is hay, which is a cross weave of chartreuse and natural undyed linen in a long duster. Lots of swish, lots of flair and drama. Of course, I can wear it open. And even though this particular color is not represented in the trousers, you can see that as an outfit is beautiful together. The trousers are close enough in color because they do have undyed linen in them. They do have the blackcurrant in them. So it's a really nice combination, and it brings in a very different color. So I'll show them to you closed as well, because these have the ties. Of course, you might be aware that these dusters come either with or without ties, whatever you prefer. Closed with that beautiful undulating hemline, shorter in the front so I can still see my dress, and then longer in the back for lots of swish and drama. All one size. They fit from a size 0 to a size 3, and we have cut them in a way that they will drape beautifully on all shapes and sizes and heights. Right, I'm going to change the color of the trousers to bring it closer to the yellow of hay. This is a pair of baggies in apple herringbone. As I said, more into that yellow spectrum. Of course, the apple herringbone, a combination of the green that is in our apple cross weave and undyed linen, and of course hay being undyed linen and chartreuse. So they look lovely together because they've got a color in common, and they form that glorious contrast with that color from right the opposite side of the spectrum, blackcurrant. Right, I'm moving on to the last color in the dress lineup, color that you're all very familiar with, and it will fit beautifully as an alternative for the blackcurrant in the rest of this outfit, was the rest of the sentence. Chartreuse, of course. Chartreuse in a dress that is my own, that I have washed and worn to death, and as you can see, not quite as pristine in terms of the way I press it. I just give it a quick iron if necessary, but a lot of the times I don't iron it at all. Just straight out of the washing machine, I give it a good whack and I hang it up to dry, and then ironing is not really necessary. And I love linen that has a slightly crumpled look, not just crumpled from sitting on it, but just crumpled the way that this pocket is, like that slight puckering and that kind of bit of folding at the bottom of the hem. I love that kind of worn in crumpled look. So chartreuse being the last of the colors in this pre-order, 6 colors to choose from. So I hope I've given you enough there. Some lighter, some darker, and most of them really popular. Some of the colors like chartreuse and magenta, I only have quite a limited supply of by now. So don't wait too long. If you want one of these dresses, go for it this time, because we may be out of the fabric, out of the color soon, and I will not reorder quite as many colors as I've done in the past. I ended up with 72 different colors, 40 in the medium weight, 32 colors in the heavyweight. It's too much and too cumbersome, hence the ongoing fabric sale that I've got going on, where for a short period of time, just to thin out those stocks, you are able to buy some of the heavier weight and the medium weight linens by the meter. Have a look on the website if you weren't aware of this yet, to see if it's still going by the time you see this video. But if you're watching this video fairly shortly after publication, then it will still be going. Right, so chartreuse dress with that hay duster over the top. I'll just take that off and I'll put that away, just so I can show you the dress by itself with the trousers. And these are the large regular length baggies, so they are cropped on me. As you can see, if I would be wearing the long ones, then they would be 4 inches longer, so I'll try and drop them about 4 inches to show the effect of wearing full length baggies with the dress in the regular length on my height of body. That would be approximately like this. Of course, I can show you lots of combinations again of chartreuse with other colors and other garments in the spectrum, but I think we've done enough for today. Thank you very much for watching as per usual, and I hope to see you again soon.